Hi, 8th graders. Today we are going over lesson 10.1.2, which is on surface area and volume of cylinders. And before we get started with actual example problems or the formulas that we're going to use, let's just look at a cylinder and talk about the parts that make up a cylinder. So I've got a soup can here as an example of a cylinder. There's really three main parts of a cylinder. First, the top and the bottom, which are called the bases, are just really circles, two circles that are the exact same size. And then we have the side part of the can, which is called the lateral surface area, or on this particular cylinder, it's where the label is on the soup can. Now, if I could peel the label off, which I was starting to, but it was starting to tear and it wasn't going to come off neatly, but if I were to take off this label and lay it flat, you would see that the label itself would be a rectangle. So again, the three main parts on a cylinder are the two bases, the top and the bottom, which are circles, and then the lateral surface area, which if you laid it completely flat, the lateral surface area is a rectangle. And more specifically, this lateral surface area, if we were to take off this label or to measure the distance around the top of the rectangular part, it would be the same distance as the distance around a circle, which would make sense when you look at it this way. Of course, the label goes all the way around the circle. So that will come into play in just a minute when we're looking at the formulas for working with surface area and volume of cylinders. Okay, so here's my very terrible drawing of what a cylinder looks like, and here you can see kind of the two bases and then the lateral surface area goes around the side. So if we were to find the surface area of this shape, we would need to find the area of the two circular ends, or the bases, the area of the bottom, the area of the top, and then we'd have to find the area of the lateral surface area, or the side of the cylinder. In other words, we have the area of the base multiplied by 2, because we have both the top and the bottom, and then we have to find the area of the lateral surface area, which is the distance around one of the circles times the height of the cylinder. And now we get to the actual formula using symbols and variables to find the area of the base. The base is a circle, so we have to multiply pi times the radius squared. And of course, we have two bases, so we multiply it by 2. To get the area of the sides, or the lateral surface area, we have to get the distance around the circle, or the circumference, pi times the diameter, times the height. So that is the formula for surface area of a cylinder. 2 times the area of the bases plus the area of the lateral surface area. Now let's move on to example 1. For example 1, we have a cylinder, and we are told that the diameter of the circle of the cylinder is 10 inches. And the height of the cylinder, the distance between the two bases, is 25 inches. So we are going to plug those numbers into the formula and find the surface area. So first of all, I'm going to write the formula. Surface area is equal to 2 times pi times the radius squared plus pi times the diameter times the height. Okay. Hi, Floyd. My cat Floyd is saying good morning to you. All right, we are multiplying 2 times 3.14, which is our approximation for pi, times our radius squared. Well, we're told the diameter is 10, and the radius is half of that, which means our radius would be 5 squared, plus pi 3.14 times the diameter of our circle, which is 10, times the height of our cylinder, which is 25 inches. So those are the numbers that we're going to need to plug into our calculator. Okay, so let's simplify here. I know 5 squared is 25, and 25 times 2 is 50. So I could do that part in my head without my calculator. And then I'm going to have to multiply 50 times 3.14. Now over here on this other side, if I multiply 3.14 times 10, that would give me 31.4. And I still need to multiply that part times 25. Okay, so now 50 times 3.14 is 157, and 31.4 times 25 is 785. Add those two together, and we have our total surface area of our cylinder is 942 inches squared. Okay, we're going to move on to example 2. We have another cylinder here. On this cylinder, we are told that the radius is 3 centimeters and the height of the cylinder, the distance between the two bases, is 9 centimeters. And we're asked to find the surface area using the formula that we just discussed earlier. So let's start by plugging in numbers that we know. We're going to multiply 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 3 centimeters squared, plus pi, which is 3.14, times the diameter. Now, if the radius is 3, that means all the way across, or the diameter would be 6, times the height, which was given to us, 9 centimeters. Okay, so if I multiply 2 times 3.14, that is 6.28, and 3 squared is 9, plus 3.14 times 6 times 9 is 54. Okay, now I'm going to need to reach for my calculator, and I'm going to multiply 6.28 times 9, and I get 56 and 52 hundredths, plus, now I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 54, and for that I get 169 and 56 hundredths. For our last step in getting the surface area of this cylinder, I'm going to add those two values together, and the sum is 226 and 8 hundredths centimeters squared. Okay, for the second part of our lesson, we're going to move into finding volume of a prism. And let's just talk really quickly about the formula. The formula to find volume of any prism is multiplying the area of the base times the height. Now here are a few different examples of prisms. This is a triangular prism. You can see the sides are rectangles and the bases are triangles. So this is a prism because the bases, the top and the bottom, are the same shape, and then we have our lateral surface areas here. Here's another prism. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, so it's a hexagonal prism. The top is a hexagon, the bottom is a hexagon, and then we have our 6 lateral sides, which are all rectangles. Cylinder is really a type of a prism because we have circles on the top and the bottom, then we have our lateral surface area. So we are going to use this formula right here to find the volume of the cylinders in both examples 1 and 2. Okay, so I have turned back to example 1. This is our cylinder that had a diameter of 10 inches and a height of 25 inches. And now we are going to find the volume of this cylinder. So we just discussed that volume is calculated by finding the area of the base times the height. In this particular example, the base is a circle. So to get the volume, we have to multiply pi times the radius squared. That gives us the area of the circle at the bottom. And then we multiply that by the height of the cylinder itself, how tall it is. Okay, let's plug in our numbers. Pi is 3.14 times the radius, which is 5 squared, times our height, which is 25. Okay. Order of operations tells us to simplify exponents first. So we have 3.14 times 25 times 25. And if I multiply that out, 25 times 25 is 625 times 3.14 gives us a total volume of 1,962 and 5/10 inches, and volume is three-dimensional, so inches cubed would be the volume of the cylinder in example 1. Now let's turn to example 2 and find the volume of that one. To find the volume here, our formula is the same. Volume equals area of the base times the height. This base is a circle, so to get its area, we do pi times the radius squared times the height. Okay, let's plug in the numbers we know about this particular cylinder. Pi is, of course, 3.14 times the radius, 3 squared, times the height of the cylinder, which is 9. Okay, so 3.14, exponents first, 3 to the second power is 9, times 9 again. Oh, okay, so we have 3.14 times 81. So what I'm going to reach for my calculator, 3.14 times 81. And we find that the volume of this cylinder right here is 254 and 3/4 centimeters cubed. So there it is, how to find the surface area and the volume of cylinders. That's it for today's assignment. Tomorrow, if you're following the calendar, tomorrow you are asked to complete review preview problems 10-26 to 10-29. Have a great day, you guys, and I just gave you the wrong assignment, so let me double check that, and I'll get back to you. Nope, I doubted myself that this was the wrong assignment for tomorrow, but indeed it is. Review preview problems 10-26 through 10-29. Have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.